Do you ever feel like you're around people, but emotionally still far away? You talk, you respond, you spend time with others, but something inside still feels disconnected, like there's always a small distance between you and everyone else. And sometimes you don't even know why, because nothing bad happened, no conflict, no obvious reason, and yet you still feel emotionally distant. If that feeling is familiar, this video may help you understand it more deeply. Emotional distance is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's completely silent. You smile normally, you continue conversations, you function socially, but internally, you never fully arrive emotionally. Part of you stays guarded, part of you stays outside, and over time, this becomes so normal that you stop questioning it. You can be physically present and still emotionally absent, because presence is not the same as connection. Sometimes your body is there, but your mind stays careful, observing, monitoring, processing, instead of relaxing. And when that happens repeatedly, interactions begin to feel emotionally incomplete. One reason this happens is that surface-level interaction often feels tiring to you, not because people are bad, but because your mind is searching for depth, realness, emotional honesty, meaning. And when conversations stay shallow, your system disconnects emotionally, even while you continue participating. If you're emotionally aware, you notice small things constantly. Changes in tone, energy shifts, unspoken tension, lack of warmth. And because you notice these things, your mind never fully settles. You stay slightly alert, always trying to understand what's happening beneath the surface. Another painful part of emotional distance is feeling misunderstood. Not because people dislike you, but because they don't fully see what's happening inside you. You explain yourself partially, but not completely. You express enough to continue functioning, but not enough to feel truly known. And slowly, you begin expecting disconnection. At some point, your system learns something. Staying emotionally distant feels safer. So without realizing it, you stop opening fully. You become more controlled, more careful, more private emotionally. Not because you don't want connection, but because vulnerability starts feeling risky. Emotional distance also creates exhaustion, because when you don't feel safe, you start adjusting yourself constantly. Your tone, your reactions, your expressions, your words, everything becomes monitored. And this constant self-adjustment takes energy, a lot of energy. Deep connection feels rare because emotional safety feels rare. You don't connect deeply just because someone is around you. You connect deeply when your system feels relaxed enough to be real. And not everyone creates that feeling, which is why you can know many people and still feel emotionally alone. One of the hardest parts is wanting connection deeply while also fearing it. You want closeness, understanding, comfort, but at the same time, part of you stays cautious because closeness means exposure, and exposure means the possibility of hurt, misunderstanding, or emotional disappointment. If you feel emotionally distant, it doesn't mean you're cold. It doesn't mean you're broken, and it doesn't mean you don't care. Sometimes, it simply means your system learned to protect itself quietly, and now you're carrying awareness without enough emotional rest. Healing emotional distance doesn't begin by forcing yourself to open. It begins by slowly noticing where you feel safe enough to relax, where you don't have to perform, adjust, or protect yourself constantly. Because real connection doesn't make you feel emotionally hidden. It allows you to exist naturally. If you feel emotionally distant from almost everyone, there's probably a reason. Not a dramatic reason, a quiet one, a pattern, a protection, a way your system learned to stay careful. And understanding that is not weakness, it's awareness. Because sometimes, the goal isn't to force connection, it's to slowly find spaces where distance is no longer necessary.